Parts that came in for the Hellcat. So we'll spin you guys around, take a look at what came in, kind of go over what a little bit of it costs. Hopefully we get this thing running in the next couple days. You're gonna have to bear with me. I had a tooth pulled like 6 hours ago, so not feeling 100%, but we'll get into it. So we got the Crossmember that came in, brandy new. Got oil that came in for the car. Kind of move over here. Lower tie bar. It's kind of lower radiator support. Your radiator, AC condenser, all that stuff fits in there. I'm actually really happy with this steering rack that came in. Originally, it was only supposed to come with inner tie rods. It actually came with outers. No nuts, but we can use the hardware off the old ones. 100% in. Everything's all even, which is actually really nice. I don't have to reuse the old stuff or order new outer tie rod ends. Came with all the lines. It's got caps on everything. Really nice. I think the dealer wanted something like $800, $900 for it. I think we ordered it from Group 1, and I think it was somewhere right around 600 bucks. It's got all new bushings in it, all new lines in it. It's actually a really nice unit. Windage tray / oil pan gasket. It's all one piece. That came sealed up real nice. Oil pickup with the gasket. That was actually really cheap. I think the dealer wanted something like, I don't know, 80 bucks for it or something. I think we ended up getting it for like $25 shipped with the gasket, or the little O-ring. The oil pan, it's actually pretty big. Unfortunately, I know some of the Hellcats came with actual Hellcat logo on the bottom of the oil pan. This one does not have it, but the part number is the same, so I don't know if it's a new old stock. It is a Mopar part. It's got the part numbers right in it. I don't know if you can kind of see that through the bag. I was trying to leave it mostly in the bag just to alleviate dust, dirt, grime, and everything from getting in there. It's actually pretty nice. It's got a built-in sump in it. Let's spin this around for you. So it's got the built-in sump. Pretty thick flanges. So I'm hoping that we can get this all in within the next, I don't know, day or two. Today's what? Thursday, Friday, something like that. And then we can kind of get back with you guys, hopefully with the car running. Alrighty guys, it is late Friday. I was planning to have the car all back together and at least fired as of yesterday. Ran into an issue. Some of the oil pan hardware was actually bent. A couple of small little 6mm bolts, 10mm heads on them. They were actually bent. Could have happened in the impact, could have happened when I took them out and I just didn't notice it. There was about 6 of them that were bent. Car takes 19 total, plus I think 4 big 14 or 15mm bolts. I ended up just getting everything overnighted from the dealer. They were super good to me. If you guys are from Connecticut, then you guys will, and you need Hellcat parts or Dodge parts, I would highly recommend you guys go talk to Mike at Crowley Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Super good guy. I actually went to high school with him. Don't ask him about me. He might tell you some funny stories. Anyway, oil pan's in, gaskets in, pickups in, Crossmember's there with the motor mounts tied down to it. Steering rack is in place, just kind of loosely tie the lines together so when I crank this thing off the pump doesn't run dry or it doesn't piss fluid all over my floor. I guess we're gonna give this thing a shot. I'm a little nervous about it. I don't know if it's gonna knock or not. I don't think it will, but I guess we'll find out, and you guys will find out and kind of know when I know. There is a bucket underneath one of the oil coolers on the front bumper. It does leak. I actually filled up the reservoir and it does kind of leak out, so we're going to have to get one of those. But I kind of wanted to see if we were pulling a motor out, pulling the whole front end of the car apart to get the motor out, or if we could start, you know, putting it back together and kind of button it up. So I'll spin you guys around and we'll hit the remote start. First of all, we'll see if the remote start works. And second of all, we'll see if the car fires, if it makes noise, and kind of go from there. I'm actually really surprised. I apologize if you guys hear big bangs. There's actually fireworks going on. We actually have a fair going on right now. It's like maybe a mile away from my shop. Fans kicked on right away. I'm sure the car is kind of low on coolant. I'm not going to let it run for super long, but I will kind of let it idle for a second. I don't hear any knocking. Doesn't sound like it's making noise. I'm actually kind of surprised the power steering pump's not making any noise either, considering that was completely dry. I did fill it up with brand new fluid. Doesn't look like that cooler's leaking too bad under there. When we first got this car, I do think the clock spring is no good. None of the steering wheel controls wanted to work. Looks like I still have Sirius XM radio for whoever bought the car and paid for it, if they paid for it ahead of time, or it's still on the 6 month from when it was from the dealer. Either way, it still works. Traction control lights on. TPMS is on, obviously, because the wheels aren't even on the car. E-brake is on, airbag lights on. So yeah, that clock spring and the steering wheel is probably junk. We'll probably have to pull all this apart and kind of go from there, see what's what with it, see what one of those is going to cost us. Hopefully it's not the whole steering shaft all the way down to the rack. Given the way that thing was smacked, that is a good possibility. I'm actually really surprised. Yeah, that clock spring's no good, especially because the airbag doesn't even want to, or the horn doesn't even want to work. Yeah, overall it looks like everything kind of works. Headlights work, gauges all work. See if we can go in performance pages, pop right up. And actually, we'll take a look at the gauges here in a second. It's really hot right now. I don't think this is actually accurate for outside temperature. Inside the shop is like probably over 90 degrees. See what the gauges look like. Coolant temp's apparently 201. I don't know if that's accurate or if it's just low. Kind of have to go over everything. Oil temp's apparently 200. 45 pounds of oil pressure at idle. That's actually really good. Oil pressure comes up fine. Car sounds good. It's not making any weird noises. Intake temps are actually really hot. So I probably won't let the car run for too much longer. I'll give you guys a look under the hood with the car running, and we'll kind of go from there. One of you guys actually caught a glimpse of the 392 yesterday, so that's out there too. So we are a Mopar family. But yeah, fans kick right on. Motor seems to run good. Doesn't feel funny. It's not making any weird noises. This headlight actually might be cracked. Looks like there's some condensation in there. So given the fact that the other one's pretty scratched up, pointed that out in I think probably the first video. I don't know if you can kind of see that. We'll probably just get a set of headlights from somewhere. TYC makes some really nice aftermarket ones, but I'll see what they cost from like Group 1 or what the dealership wants for them. As I finish putting the suspension stuff back together, I'll take another video for you guys. Kind of take a look at how some of that stuff went back together. That hardest part of it was really actually the motor mount bolts that actually bolt to the Crossmember. They're a real pain in the ass with everything back in there to kind of get access to them, to get them nice and tight. Crossmember bolts were kind of a pain on my back, considering we don't have a lift to get those torqued out. I think torque is like 136 foot-pounds or something like that. It was kind of a pain. But yeah, the car runs, doesn't seem to make noise, doesn't smoke. It's not overheating. So all in all, I'm pretty pleased, especially with what we bought this car for. I know a lot of people were concerned about the car having motor problems or knocking or engine damage. I probably will pull the oil and the filter off of this car. They're brand new from AMSOIL, so I'll probably let it run a couple times, put a couple heat cycles in it, drain the oil out, pull the filter off, replace it all again, cut the filter open and see if there's any bearing material in there or anything shiny metallic looking. By the way this car started, I really don't think there will be, but I guess you never really know until you know. The AC does not work in the car. I don't know if you could see that before. The AC was on, so that condenser down below is probably most definitely shot. Again, I apologize for the lighting. It's late. I'm tired. I got a tooth pulled yesterday, so I'm not feeling 100%, but I really wanted to see before the weekend, get this thing running, or at least fired up and see kind of what else I'd be looking at and do some research for some parts tonight, kind of shop around. So far, total for parts in this car is less than $1,200 bucks. I think it's like $1,177 so far. Still got to get a set of wheels, got to get a AC condenser, got to get an oil cooler, clock spring probably, probably some other little miscellaneous stuff. I'll keep you guys updated, and I'll, you know, kind of go over stuff as it comes in. So far I'm pretty happy. Car probably will be for sale. I actually just found a Crash Demon that I plan on to buy and rebuild, and that's probably what I'm going to keep. Originally I was going to keep this car and sell my 392. I'll probably drive the 392 for the remainder of the summer and try to purchase this Demon. It's smacked up pretty good. I'm not going to tell you guys how much it is or where it is, because someone will probably try to buy it out from under me, and I'd be pretty upset. So that's about that.